wondering how you can save money on your social media strategy? Don't worry, I can help. Hey everybody, Katie Lance here, founder and CEO of Katie Lance Consulting, the Get Social Smart Academy, and author of the book, Get Social Smart, and it's episode 191 of the Get Social Smart Show. And today I'm excited to share with you 3 of my favorite tips on 3 of my favorite platforms and give you a few ideas on how to utilize social media without spending a whole lot of money. All right, first platform we're going to talk about is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a really important platform because when you get Googled, LinkedIn is one of the first things that comes up. So if your profile's outdated or there's not a whole lot about you, there's the perception that you're not in business. So one of my favorite free things you can do on LinkedIn is blog. Now I know blogging is not as exciting as Instagram or anything else, but blogging is still really important. So what I would encourage you to do is to think about, are there some opportunities to create some original content on your blog over on LinkedIn? If you already have a blog, you might repurpose some of that blog content. We do that from time to time where we copy and paste a blog that we already wrote. We might put part of that blog over on LinkedIn with a link back to that original post on our website. If you do video like we do, a lot of times we will transcribe our video content, turn that into a blog post and put that over on LinkedIn as well. Now, I don't recommend blogging about your listings, but I do recommend blogging about things that are timeless, things that are evergreen, things like, the biggest lessons you've ever learned being in real estate, or if you had to do it all over again, what you would do, or the biggest questions every first-time home buyer asks. That is a great piece of content. It's totally free and it's worth it for LinkedIn. Platform number 2, Facebook. Now, I know there's lots of things that we could do over on Facebook, but one of my favorite things that's low cost that will get you a huge bang for your buck is Facebook Live. When you go live on Facebook, whether it's your personal profile, business page, or Facebook group, Facebook Live is still one of the best ways to get a high level of traction, likes, engagement, and ultimately business. We know this because Facebook tends to favor content in the newsfeed that sparks a conversation. And this is why sometimes you post something to Facebook and you get 1 like, 2 likes, one of them's your mom, right? So how do we get more engagement? How do we ultimately turn likes into leads? It's Facebook Live. And we've actually done a ton of content and training about Facebook Live. If you're watching this over on YouTube, I know a lot of you have been doing virtual open houses using Facebook Live, and there's so many little things that make a big difference, from promoting your Facebook Live in advance, a couple days in advance on social media, showing up, being energetic, welcoming people to your Facebook Live, and then promoting the replay on your Facebook Live. So utilizing that, especially on a consistent basis, makes a really big difference, and there's no cost to it. Platform number 3 is Instagram. I love Instagram. You guys know this. I've been doing lots of videos about Instagram recently, and if we're not yet connected on Instagram, make sure you give me a follow over on Instagram. But Instagram, there's so many great free tools. One of my favorite free tools on Instagram is the ability to make sure you're using the stories and the feed hand in hand. This is huge. Why? Because some of you, not you particularly, but some people are only watching the feed on Instagram, and some people are only watching stories. So you want to make sure that your content goes hand in hand. If you post something to IGTV as an example, make sure you show a 1-minute preview in your newsfeed. If you create a new Reels, make sure you show a preview in your newsfeed. If you are creating a piece of content in your feed, share that to your stories. And so we want to think of Instagram as this great big ecosystem. If you're doing an Instagram Live, save that, put that over on IGTV. And it's this idea of repurposing and making sure you're using your stories and your feed. They go hand in hand. And the folks that we see getting the most traction from Instagram aren't just posting on their stories, and they're not just doing their feed, but they're really integrating the two. One side note, little bonus tip when it comes to Instagram, one of the things I love to do is in your feed, point people back to your stories. So if you've got a beautiful new listing, you might post a few of those beautiful photos in the feed, and you might say, hey, click my stories today to hear the backstory of this beautiful home. Right? And vice versa. You might do an Instagram story where you're pointing to something in your feed. So use those hand in hand. It's a small thing that can make a big difference. So here's the good news. When it comes to your social media strategy, you don't have to spend a whole lot of money to get a lot of bang for your buck. But if you're like a lot of people, you might struggle with what to post and what to say. So I encourage you to download our free content guide. Go to katielance.com/content grid. I think I just said content guide. It's actually a content grid. katielance.com/content grid. Tens of thousands of agents all over the world have downloaded it. This is going to give you more than 30 ideas of what to post to your social media channels. All right, I would love to hear from you. What questions do you have when it comes to social media? Post those in the comments below. And if you're watching this over on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell button because we have new episodes that come out each and every week. For more tips, tools, and strategies all about social media, follow me over at katielance.com. We'll see you soon.